This is a 5-minute video resume. It's a summary of the different types of work that I've done over the course of my lifetime. I started out in life as an artist, with my first oil painting in an art gallery at the age of 13. As soon as I graduated from high school at 17, I was commissioned to paint a series of murals in a landmark hotel. The work was fun and paid well when it was there, but it wasn't very consistent, so I gave it up at 18 and joined the Air Force and became a jet engine mechanic. While I was in the Air Force, I made extra money by doing paintings of the planes that I worked on, and then I'd sell them to the pilots. While I was in the Air Force at the age of 18, I came up with an idea for a smaller, lighter jet engine that would use counter-rotating turbines and compressors. Based on the advice of a patent attorney that didn't take me seriously because of my age, I made a disclosure to an engine manufacturer without protecting my rights. 3 years later, I picked up a copy of Aviation Week magazine and saw my engine being disclosed by the company that I sent it to. I talked to another attorney about it who said there's nothing I could do, that I had basically just given away my rights to the design. But at least I had the peace of mind of knowing that I could come up with a valuable, usable idea that nobody else had. When I got out of the Air Force, I became the art director for a local television show on Channel 11. And this is also where I got my first experience in producing television commercials. In 1980, I started experimenting with high-mileage carburetors. It seemed like the more I learned, the more people wanted to know, and before I knew it, it was in newspapers across the West Coast. So eventually I wrote a book about the topic, which I made $50,000 off of. With all my carburetor knowledge and experience, I decided to open a carburetor repair shop, and it wasn't long until I had 4.
Oh no! What's happening?
A bad carburetor can get expensive. If yours needs rebuilding, at Carburation Technology we can do that for a little more than the cost of a tune-up. The television advertising brought me more business than I could handle. I had 4 stores, but I had a problem finding qualified mechanics to work at them, so in the end I wound up closing 3 of the stores and selling the last one to my remaining employees. It's still in business today. After that, I dabbled in concert promotion for a while. It was a lot of fun, and I met a lot of interesting people, but I didn't see much of a future in it. Next, I came up with an idea for a television show where people used their home video cameras to make their own TV commercials, kind of like America's Funniest Videos versus The Classified. Anyway, it was moderately successful here in the Northwest, but then I took it down to California to a CBS affiliate in Bakersfield where it was fairly successful. My next project was a feature film called Loon. It was a 95-minute romantic comedy that never made it out to theaters, but it did make it out to the video stores. It was a low-budget production that also served as a fundraiser for the homeless.
Loon is now available on video cassette. Loon is a 95-minute modern fairy tale about a lovable homeless man and of his struggle to reclaim his past. Loon isn't a Hollywood production. It was produced by a cast and crew of everyday people from the Puget Sound area, and 1/2 of the production group's profits go to the homeless. Loon was also scored by renowned Northwest musician Danny Deerdorf. It's a movie you and your family will want to watch again and again. For a copy of Loon, stop by Stadium Video or your nearest Blockbuster video store.
Well, the next turn in my career path was kind of a fluke. Ken Huff was a friend of mine who was also my original partner with Carburation Technology. While I was making television shows and movies, he was becoming very successful in the mobile home business. He had a problem though. He was selling a lot of homes, but he needed somebody to pull permits and coordinate the installation of the homes that he was selling. He sold me on the idea that setting up a mobile home was a lot like making a movie, and he was right. You pull the permits and you coordinate a bunch of contractors to do what they're supposed to do in order to get the project finished by a certain date. I'd only planned on stepping in to help him out of a bind, but about 5 years and 100 mobile homes later, I was still doing it. About 4 years ago, I teamed up with Norm Davis and we formed the corporation Wagner Davis Development. Since then, we've been remodeling houses, we've built a couple new ones, and we've been subdividing land. The next few minutes of this tape are a couple dozen examples of the work that we've done.